What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are back again with another Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be against Emily, a person in the battle off my Discord server. So if you guys are interested in a Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle and trade Discord chat room and a place to hang out and fun Wi-Fi battles, definitely check out my Discord server. A link will be in the description. Now, me and Emily are having an underused battle today, as she's packing a pretty threatening underused team, packing some pretty new threats that are in the underused tier, like a Lulled Muck, Mega Pidgeot, and I think Mammal Swine was OE before. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. As I'm using a pretty fun team featuring Maractus, Metagross, Rhyperior, Mienshao, Chandelure, and Dedenne. So, I have a pretty fun looking team. We both have some threats on there. I'm really scared of that Mega Pidgeot. I mean, the only check I have to it on my team is actually Dedenne, which is actually pretty sad, but we're just going to get right into this battle, as it's a rather close battle, so we're just going to get into it. So I'm going to lead off with my Thirsty Hoe. My Maractus, as my opponent, is going to decide to lead off with the Thick Swine, the Mammal Swine. Now, turn 1, I assumed that my opponent would want to go for the Stealth Rocks, but my opponent decides to go for Icicle Crash instead. Pretty good play, as it's going to severely weaken my Maractus, if not just one-shot me because I'm Maractus, but thankfully, I do carry the Focus Sash. We should be able to live this, and then retaliate with an Energy Ball. And Icicle Crash being the new Togekiss, like, it just flinches me, like, that's, I don't know what it is with Icicle Crash and flinching. Like, if you guys seen my Slush Rush Sand Slash video, like, Icicle Crash literally was Togekiss for a battle, so I don't really understand how that's possible, but I guess Maractus is just unable to do anything in this battle, unfortunately. And another thing I forgot to mention on my team is that I have no ground resistance, and so now that my Maractus is dead and I was unable to knock out this Mammal Swine, I'm in a pretty bad position. So I'm going to bring in my Scarf Mienshao here, as now my opponent is going to pivot into the 100% skill, the Togekiss, as I do expect to switch into that, so I go for Stone Edge, as you're going to get a nice, skillful critical hit. Then again, Stone Edge has a high critical hit rate, so what do you really expect? So I got rewarded for that play, and now Togekiss is pretty much nearly dead, so my opponent's actually going to decide to save Togekiss, I'm pretty sure, but I want to double switch out in case I miss Stone Edge, because you already know how that move goes. So I'm going to bring in my Rhyperior here, my Hard Body, as my opponent's actually going to switch out to pivot into Stone Edge. I bring in his Side Doge, his Zygarde, and this is actually my first time facing against Side Doge. I know this thing just spams 1,000 arrows like regular Zygarde does, and I also have no ground resist on my team, but my Rhyperior does carry the Choco Berry because I just wanted it to take Earthquakes better. I don't really know, and this was mainly towards beating Gligar and RU, but I guess UU works too, because I do have Ice Punch on the set. So Zydoge is going to do absolutely nothing with Banded 1,000 arrows, as now I'm going to go straight for the Ice Punch with Max Attack. Ice Punch should knock out the Zydoge, as thankfully down that monster goes. This thing was a pretty big threat to my team. As cute as Zydoge looks, it actually does a lot of damage with 1,000 arrows when you don't have a Choco Berry and Solid Rock. So in comes Mammal Swine now, and I'm hoping I can take an Earthquake, even though this thing did reveal Life Orb already. But Mammal Swine's going to click Earthquake, and I'm hoping my Hard Body could take it. I don't have the Choco Berry anymore. But Rhyperior lives with 5 hit points. I was so surprised. Hard Body really showing off its nickname there, as now I'm able to knock out the Mammal Swine with the Max Attack, Adamant Stone Edge. So this Rhyperior set's pretty nice. We're going to knock out the Mammal Swine pretty easily, so we're able to beat 2 ground types that severely threaten my team with a Rhyperior. Not bad. But now in comes Burbajesus, the Mega Pidgeot. And Mega Pidgeot's a pretty cool Pokemon that's allowed in the underused metagame now. I can see a lot of Pokemon running Scarf just to outspeed this monster, because this thing hits really hard. The only thing that works against it is that Stone Edge has like 100% accuracy against it and stuff like that, but that's a pretty nice price to pay to have 100% accurate Hurricanes that confuse all the time and stuff. So U-Turn's going to knock out my Hard Body. I mean, it did a lot of work in this battle, knocked out both Mammal Swine and Zydoge, which did a lot of work to my team, as now my opponent is going to bring on Quiver, the Venomoth, as I'm going to bring him, as I know I could take any one hit my opponent wants to go for, and I'm assuming my opponent's not going to want to stay in on a Chandelure, because I could potentially outspeed a Venomoth. But my opponent's going to bring in the Pride Cum, the Alolan Muck, very nice nickname for that Muck, as now I'm going to choose to just click Fire Blast, as I have no reason not to, and it should do a big chunk to whatever he brings in, as Alolan Muck is going to come in here. It looks like it's a Soft Vest Alolan Muck. I mean, it's not too surprising if it is, because that's pretty much a Soft Vest, or that's pretty much Alolan Muck's best moveset in my opinion. But now I'm going to bring in my Mienshao here, expecting the knockoff, as we're able to pivot into that correctly. I was kind of fearing the Pursuit, but it was in the back of my mind. I'm like, if he gets it, he gets it. But my opponent's actually going to Poison Touch me, which is a little bit unfortunate. I was going to hope that I could not get poisoned, but Poison Touch is a pretty obnoxious ability, so it's to be expected. But Mienshao should be able to knock out this Alolan Muck with the High Jump Kick, because Reckless High Jump Kick hits extremely hard. Like, I don't think there's any switch-ins. But my opponent is going to bring in the Togekiss here, so I'm just going to click High Jump Kick. Thankfully, we do connect, as Togekiss is able to live it because it is Togekiss. It does quad resist my high jump kick, and it's likely a defensive one considering it does carry the leftovers. I'm very thankful that this Togekiss did not get to skill all over me in this battle. I'm sure it has like Thunder Wave, Air Slash, Roost, or something like that. Nasty Plot is its last move, or maybe Defog. I'm just going to click Knock Off here and knock out the 100% skill. Goodbye Togekiss, you did not get to flinch down my entire team, and it's not a Scarf Togekiss thankfully, so we have that going for us. And Mienshao getting a kill at the very least. We got the Stone Edge to knock out that Toge earlier on in the game, so that was very nice. But now in comes Burb Jesus, the Mega Pidgeot. And I was going to bring in my Day-to-Night here on the Hurricane, but I just decided to sack off my Mienshao as it's no longer Choice Scarf. And I don't know, I just don't feel like it's going to be very useful anymore, so I decided to sack off my Mienshao. I maybe should have brought in my Day-to-Night because I am a max speed F, max HP Day-to-Night, so I could easily take in a Hurricane. But I decided to just sack off my Mienshao just to play it safe. As now we're going to bring in Worst Pika, and my opponent is just going to click U-turn here. Pretty good play. And U-turn on Mega Pidgeot seems to be pretty good because you can just U-turn out on your counters and then bring out your other broken underused Pokemon that are somewhat in the underused tier. Although we did lose some powerhouses like Clefable and Keldeo, thankfully. Those Pokemon seemed a little bit strong for the underused metagame, and Bisharp, but Bisharp wasn't that bad. But now I'm just going to click Nuzzle here, in comes the Alolan Muck, going to get Paralysis thankfully, and this Alolan Muck is very scary to my team as it's just going to Poison Jab me and knock me out. So I'm going to choose to pivot into my Chandelure here, I do believe, hope my opponent does not click Knock Off because she doesn't have a reason to, outside of predicting my switch, and I am a Z-move Chandelure, so I should be able to tank one Knock Off. But yeah, the Alolan Muck's going to click Poison Jab here, not do too much damage to me, get a crit poison though, which is pretty funny. The Poison Touch, you can get so much status with Poison Jab, it's absolutely insane, and that is why people run Poison Jab over Gunk Shot on Muck in general, because of Poison Touch plus Poison Jab's chance to poison. It's absolutely insane. But I'm actually going to go for my Z move here. It is a Z Memento Chandelure. I didn't have to use Z Memento because, everything I have remaining is nearly at full HP, so Z Memento is pretty much a waste of time, but I wanted to show off that I had it, okay? So I'm going to go for Z Memento here, and just lower the Smuck's offenses a little bit, and lower its stats, thankfully, and we're going to just lose all of our health bar. And down goes Chandelure, but now we can bring in the next Pokemon as my opponent tries to Pursuit Trap me there. So she does reveal she has Pursuit, but now I'm going to bring in my Metagross. I don't know why she didn't use it earlier on in the battle then. Maybe she wanted to punish something with Knockoff, I'm not too sure. But I'm just going to click Agility here with my new my Metagross, and get +2 to my speed, as now my opponent is just going to proceed to click Knockoff, and my opponent is going to walk into my trap. She's going to Knock Off and knock me off into my weakness policy, so I'm going to get +2 to my attack and special attack. Not that special attack's any relevant at all, but whatever, I have it. And now I'm just going to proceed to go for the +2 Earthquake, as unfortunately the Alolan Muck does get paralyzed on the Shadow Sneak. Imagine if Alolan Muck got Sucker Punch, holy shit, that would be so annoying. But yeah, Earthquake's just going to knock out the Pride Cum, and at the very least we're able to knock out this monster. And all my opponent has left is Mega Pidgeot and something else I did forget. So my opponent is going to bring in the Mega Pidgeot here. And I don't think Mega Pidgeot could take a +2 Meteor Mash, but just to be safe, I'm going to click Ice Punch. I'm going to click Ice Punch, click Ice Punch, because, I'll probably miss Meteor Mash, because Meteor Mash is that kind of move. So we're going to be able to knock out the Mega Pidgeot with Ice Punch. And this should be a pretty nice late game cleanup with the Agiligros with Weakness Policy. It's a pretty fun set, as Venomoth is my opponent's last Pokemon. And it's actually a Z-move Venomoth, my opponent told me, so that thing was actually a pretty big threat to my team if I got a Quiver Dance up. But thankfully, we're able to get the late game cleanup with the Metagross, and we're able to win the battle with a narrow 2-0 victory, so it was a very close battle, Emily. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you guys did enjoy this battle. If you enjoyed the Wi-Fi battle and want to support my YouTube channel, please be sure to Continental crush that like button, as it means the world to me, and your guys' support has been amazing lately. I really love reading your comments, and your support just keeps me inspired to make daily uploads for you guys. And yeah, the question of the day is going to be, if you can make a brand new item that doesn't currently exist in any Pokemon game, what would the item's use be, and what would you call it? Now, I brainstormed a few ideas for this question of the day, and yeah, the first item I would come up with is something called a Tricky Capsule, which would increase Trick Room's turn rate to 8 instead of 5, kind of like the Dambrock. I understand that would kind of break the doubles metagame, but they made Tapu Lele, so they have no excuses at this point. I would also come up with an item called the Rejuvenating Herb that is a one-use item and allows, recharge moves to be used without recoil. You can use a move after that, so you can use Blast Burn 2 turns in a row and not be punished for it. It seems like a cool idea. You can give Unburdened Sceptile, Frenzy Plant. It could be a pretty cool idea. And yeah, one more item. Let's see. Let's see. Durability cloak. That's what I was thinking of. And it would increase your defense and special defense by 1 stage every time you switched into a resisted attack. So it would give skilling Pokemon like hella counterplay. Not only that, it would just make pivoting into attacks more rewarding, and it would definitely influence the meta significantly. So I would like to see that in the future. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching till the end of the video. I'll check you guys in my next video. Alright, peace.